Hey everyone, it's Heather Nichols for Tailored Expressions. Today I'm sharing a pair of 5x7 cards created with the Oh Christmas Tree collection. The star of this collection is the Oh Christmas Tree split stamp and stencil combo set. You can cut out the tree and more with the Oh Christmas Tree die set and add even more to your tree with the Oh Christmas Tree Editions die set. For my projects, I'll also be using the additional arched stacklet dies and the tiny Twinkles embossing folder. For ink colors, I'll be using Honeydew Melon, green tea and Brussels sprout, Mocha, our newest color Jujube, and royal icing. I'm using a variety of blender brushes and pixie spray to hold my stencils in place. For sentiments, I'm using the Foil It Mini Strips Holiday 2 panels and foiling with my Mini Ink machine, my Foil Magic Shim, and Champagne Fun Foil. I'm using Happy Medium Gold Glitter with my Nuvo Media Spatula, Gold Glitter Drops, Chocolate Truffle Liquid Watercolor, and Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White ink with a water brush for splatters, and finally foam adhesive and a liquid adhesive. I'm starting off by stamping the tree trunk and branches using that split stamp. I'll set the whole stamp into my MISTI first, and then I'll remove that outer layer of the stamp with the snowflakes. I'm stamping the tree trunk and branches with Mocha ink onto sugar cube cardstock. I'm stamping the tree 3 times first without the background, then I'll stamp that tree trunk and branches one more time with Mocha ink, then leaving everything in place, I'll add that snowflake stamp back around the tree, remove the tree stamp, and then stamp the snowflakes using royal icing ink. Next, I'm using the first 2 layers of the stencils in the set to add the greenery to the trees. I like to use pixie spray to hold my stencils in place. And then for layer number 1, I'm starting off with Honeydew Melon ink. I'm applying that ink through my stencil with my blender brush, moving my brush in both a clockwise and counterclockwise direction. I added shading to this layer using a detail blender brush with green tea ink. On the second layer of the greenery, I started off with green tea ink and then added blending with a detail blender brush using Brussels sprout ink. I stenciled the rest of the trees I had stamped in exactly the same way. For the trees without the background, I added the third stencil layer to put ornaments on the trees with Jujube ink. For a touch of sparkle, I also added a layer of the Happy Medium Gold Glitter using my Nuvo Media Spatula. You'll want to make sure the Happy Medium is dried completely before moving on to the next part of your project. When everything was dry, I cut out the 3 trees without backgrounds using the tree from the Oh Christmas Tree die set. For the background for the card with 3 trees, I'm embossing a piece of sugar cube cardstock with the tiny Twinkles embossing folder. The cardstock size I need is a little bit too big for the folder. After running it through my die cut machine once, I added the end that wasn't embossed back into the embossing folder and ran it through my die cut machine just over the portion that needed to be embossed. It's not completely perfect, but with this random design and that it's going to be behind the trees, that little area that's not perfect is not going to be noticeable. I cut out the tree with the background using a die from the additional arched Stacklets die collection. I cut out decorations for the tree from Jujube and gold foil cardstock using the Oh Christmas Tree Editions die set. There's a small candle decoration that you'll need to cut out of 2 colors of cardstock and then adhere the pieces together. I added splatters to the trees using Chocolate Truffle Liquid Watercolor and Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White ink. For sentiments for my projects, I foiled panels from the Foil It Mini Strips Holiday 2 set. I covered each of the panels with Champagne Fun Foil, covering the panels with the foil pretty side up and sent them through my mini Mink machine. Once the panels have gone through my Mink machine, I can peel off the foil to reveal the foiled sentiments. I cut out the sentiments on both panels using my die cut machine with the mini strips die. Okay, let's put these cards together. I'm starting with the card using the 3 trees. First, I'm adhering the embossed background to a 5x7 piece of Jujube cardstock. Then I adhered the trees on the outside edges first using thin foam adhesive. Some of the branches and the trunks on the bottom are going to extend beyond the edges of the card. I added the center tree next and then flipped the panel over and used scissors to cut off the branches and trunks even with the edges of the card. Next, I added the Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas sentiment strips to the card, and I decorated all of the trees using ornaments and decorations that are die cut out of gold foil cardstock. I'm adhering the ornaments and stars at the top of the tree in place using a liquid adhesive. And now for the card with the single tree. I cut out an additional arch out of Latte cardstock. I added that layer behind the tree piece and then attached that to a 5x7 piece of Jujube cardstock using thin foam adhesive. Next, to decorate this tree, I added a gold foil star to the top and a gold bucket to the bottom. The ornaments decorating this tree are the ones cut out of Jujube cardstock, along with the candles that I shared with you earlier. I adhered the ornaments in place with liquid adhesive. I added gold glitter drops as well for a touch of sparkle. I added both of these panels to 5x7 sugar cube card bases. You'll also notice I adhered the Merry Christmas sentiment to the card with the single tree that had gotten away from me. Here's a closer look at both of the cards that I created today using the Oh Christmas Tree collection. It was very fun to create in the 5x7 format, and I really loved using the new Jujube color. I hope you enjoyed learning how I created these cards too. You can find all of the supplies that I used at the Tailored Expressions website at tailoredexpressions.com. Thanks so much for joining me today, and don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our crafty videos.